Hi everybody, I am Jared Clark with Airguns of Arizona. Thank you for joining us today. Today we're going to be taking a look at this new offering from Umarex Airguns. This one is called the Umarex Notos. And this little setup has made a big splash in the airgun world. These have hit the market and they were extremely popular upon initial release. And today, hopefully, I'm gonna show you why that is. In my quest to give you as much information about this gun as possible, Notos was the god in Greek mythology of the south wind. Now that you know that, let's take a look at some of the features this gun has to offer. The reason this gun was so successful in making such a big splash is it is lightweight and compact, which is incredibly popular right now. It is very affordable. This gun retails currently under $300. So if you're thinking about getting into the pre-charged world, it's a great way to do it without spending a lot of money to do so. And last but not least, efficiency. This gun is incredibly efficient. The consistency on velocities, the groups that you could get out of a sub $300 gun has been very impressive for me. So I hope that you stick around. We'll cover everything that you want to know about this gun. We'll shoot it at 20 yards, we'll shoot it at 50 yards, and hopefully I'll give you a better idea as to why you may want to buy yourself a Umarex Notos. All right, let's get into it. Okay, so in front of me is the Umarex Notos, straight in the box as you would expect to receive it. We're gonna do a quick unboxing, show you exactly as it would come, then we'll highlight all the features on the gun, do our normal 20 and 50 yard, get it all taken care of for you. So we'll start right here like we always do with the unboxing. These come in a cardboard box with some laser cut foam. There's three main things. We have the Notos itself here. So it comes in the box without the carbine buttstock attached. So the next big thing you'll see here is the carbine buttstock. So this just simply slides in. You have a couple set screws and everything locks down there. So those are the two components that you'll see first. The other is a giant bag here. This has your warranty information. This will have your owner's manual that explains everything I'm about to talk about. And then it will also have your fill probe. Those last two things. So we have the fill probe to put air in the gun. We have the 7-shot 22 caliber magazine. And then last is those screws that will hold the carbine buttstock onto the action itself. So that's everything that comes in it, as you could expect to receive. The other thing that you might see, I still have one other Ziploc here. We got these from Umarex. These are some aftermarket accessories that are also available. So if you would rather run the Notos as a pistol, right here you have pistol grips that can be installed if you want to forego that buttstock and just shoot it as a pistol. So the last thing here that I have in my box, this doesn't come with the gun, but it is offered by Umarex as an accessory. This is a fiber optic open sight. So that makes this gun kind of fun. You know, you can put some open sights on it and really start testing your ability and accuracy and things like that. So that is the unboxing, everything you could expect to get when you open up a Umarex Notos. So what I'm gonna do now is assemble the rifle with the buttstock, go over all the features, talk about it a little bit more in depth. So the first thing you're gonna wanna do with your Notos is install the carbine buttstock that comes with it. So these are just two pieces right here. It's just slides over. So what I do is kind of put my hand in there and it's just a form fit. So you just gotta squeeze it together, make sure that your screw holes line up. It's a 2mm Allen wrench you'll need. And then there's just 4 set screws that hold this in place. So we'll put those in right now. All right, then we flip the gun over and there's 2 more on the other side, but this is a very straightforward process for getting the gun assembled. Okay, once you have the 4th screw in, I just kind of come back to all of them. So now you have it. Solid one-piece gun. The buttstock is adjustable for length of pull, so you have a little bit of adjustment there. But right now, that is the Umarex Notos, fully assembled as you could expect to get it out of the box. So what I'm gonna do now is put a scope on top, and then we will go back to front, cover all the features this has, and then get into some shooting. Here we can see the gun as it comes out of the box after assembly with the carbine buttstock on top. And here we have the Umarex Notos with the pistol grip and the open sights installed. So it gives you an idea of how flexible this gun is. If you don't want to run it as a carbine, you want to practice your pistol skills, you can run it as a pistol. I really like the iron sights. There's not very many pre-charged guns available on the market that have that. And they just kind of slide into the pre-cut slots on the Picatinny rail here, and then you lock them down with the screw. So it's very simple to use, and it makes iron sight shooting a possibility with the Notos. We went ahead and put a Hawk Vantage 2-7 on top of this. It's a good match for the gun because it's a relatively inexpensive scope, but high quality as well. So you're not sacrificing anything. You're keeping it small, lightweight, compact. Hawk optics are a great option for the Notos. Overall length is 31 inches with the stock collapsed. If you pull that out, you now have 34 inches in overall length. And then without the scope, the entire package weighs 4.1 pounds. It makes it a very transportable option. This is something that you could throw in a backpack. This is something you could carry with you without it weighing you down too much. And that's one of the biggest features of this gun is it's lightweight, it's compact, very portable for any of your pre-charged gun needs that you could have. These are available in 22 caliber only at the moment. I'm not certain if they're gonna do other calibers, but right now 22 is all you can get. And it's a great all-around caliber. For a backyard gun like this, 22, again, it's a good meet in the middle point for everything. And with that, we'll just kind of start at the back, go forward, highlight all the options. We already talked about the buttstock here that can collapse. So you have 3 inches of length of pull adjustment, which is great if you have younger shooters or people just getting into the sport and don't have that full length of pull. Right now you have a nice option for youth shooters or full length shooters like myself. This is an AR style buttstock here. So you have your standard AR buffer tube nut right there. So in theory, you could upgrade that. If you had a buttstock that you really liked, it just goes on with the standard AR style buffer tube right there, and then the locking castle nut. So that is the pistol grip right there. You can see there's a nice little spot right here. If you wanted to hold it, like we said, being portable, you carry that around with you all day without really noticing it's there. You can't see it with the stock on, but there is a little cutout right here. Down inside of there, what you have is a hammer spring adjustment screw. So you can adjust the power based on how hard the hammer hits the valve with that adjustment screw right underneath the cocking lever on the back. So if you're shooting it as a pistol, that'll be much more accessible. But if you do want to get to that, you'll have to take the carbine stock off, and it's just a flat head screw that comes straight into the back. So clockwise will increase the power, counterclockwise will decrease. Always be careful with that. You can hit a point where you're getting no more speed, but you're just wasting air. So if you're gonna adjust that, make sure that you understand the tuning process and how to maximize your hammer spring there. This is a side lever action, and it's very sleek. You have to almost look for it right here. You have this stainless colored piece with the Umarex logo on it. That right there is how you set the bolt. That will also cycle the magazine, and this is how you set up, this is how you charge the gun for a shot right there. So it's very sleek. I mean, you like I said, you almost don't see it unless you really look for it, but it has this little scallop right there where your thumb can get under there, and then cocking it is very simple. Running along the top of the entire setup here, this is a Picatinny scope rail. This is a polymer of some sort. We talked about this gun coming in at under $300. So there are some materials that will not all be metal on here, I guess is the best way to say it, but it's very durable. I've been shooting it outside. I've been shooting it in my backyard. I've been shooting it everywhere, and the scope has stayed really solid for me. There isn't any kind of flex. I haven't noticed any signs of wear on it. So you get a full Picatinny rail that runs the whole length of the barrel here, and that does a great job for, like we have here, a Hawk scope works great. I've run it with a red dot is a really good option for a small gun like this. Those iron sights that we saw, the open sights from Umarex, you can attach those right there. So that is your accessory point for all your optics, and it runs the full length of the gun, which makes it very usable. Directly below that, you have kind of your barrel shroud here in that same material, and then underneath that, there is an actual shroud. The barrel on this gun is an 11.75 inch, so it's just shy of 12 inches on the overall barrel length. And it does a really good job of being efficient with that small barrel. And we'll talk about more of that at 20, but you have just shy 11.75 inch barrel here. And then each gun does come with a moderator pre-installed. That thing is bonded on there, and it does a really good job. Again, shooting it outside, it's not loud. For me, it left nothing to be desired. I wasn't going, oh man, this is too loud for my backyard. No, it was good. It basically put air in it, and it was ready to start shooting. Underneath all of that, so you have the moderator here, barrels under the shroud, Picatinny rail up top. This is your air cylinder right here. You have a relatively small air capacity because there is a regulator in here, and then you have this small cylinder, which you think would be problematic, but I was getting 21 shots per fill, no problem. So 3 full mags, tiny air cylinder that helps keep the weight down, keeps the size down, but still is efficient enough to get you 20 really good consistent shots. So it's all about kind of give and takes in air guns. If you want more power, you gotta be bigger, you gotta be longer, you gotta have more air. I think Umarex did a really good job of finding a good balance point. You still have enough power to really do anything you want in the backyard, and it's still quiet, it still gets a decent amount of shots per fill. I think they found a really healthy balance point between all of those on this Umarex Notos here. So great job, Umarex. At the end of the air cylinder, you have a color coordinated gauge here. When you're in the green, you're good. If you go to the red, that would be an overfill. So you can shoot in the green territory from about 1900 to 3600 PSI. At the end of the cylinder, you have a dust cap that will reveal your fill probe hole. So once that is open, all you do is take the included fill probe that comes with it, stick it in there till it bottoms out, and you have your quick connect machined right onto the back. So snap your air supply in, fill it up to 3600, that's all you have to do. Just behind the cylinder, you have your trigger right here. And on the trigger blade itself, that's where your safety is. It's just a push style safety. So when it's pushed in, the trigger cannot engage the sear, and then when you push it back out, now it's clear and it'll lift that sear. On the trigger blade itself, there is a small set screw here. This is adjusting the weight that the trigger breaks at. So going in will increase, coming out clockwise will decrease. And if you're gonna adjust the trigger, it's really not bad. It's a little heavy, but just always be careful when adjusting triggers. Make sure you don't get them too light, and make sure that you're fully confident or competent? Probably either. Make sure you're both before you make any trigger adjustments on a gun like this. The actual breech itself is aluminum. It is a metal breech here. So the meat and the heart of the gun here, that's all metal underneath the buttstock, underneath the Picatinny rail. All of that is gonna be aluminum. So put together really nicely. The gun is a lot. You get a lot of gun for under $300. That goes as far as to say you'd be hard pressed to find more gun for under $300 currently on the market. This kit is really well put together, and like we said, it's a nice middle point for all the size, the weight, the power, the shot count. It's a great gun to get yourself started in pre-charged pneumatics. If you've been thinking about it for a while and the price tag has just been too much, I think the Umarex Notos fits that bill perfectly. And I think if you tried one, you'd tend to agree with me that it's a good gun for the money. This gun does have a 1-year warranty from the manufacturer, which is Umarex. In that paperwork we talked about at the beginning, all of the information is there. So you have a 1 year from date of purchase that covers any kind of manufacturer defects directly through Umarex. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna show you where it really shines. We're gonna put some air in it. We're gonna do a shot count at 20 yards, and then we're gonna do a group size at 20 yards to give us an indicator. And then yes, I am gonna take this tiny little gun out to 50 yards. So I hope you stick around till the end of the video. We'll cover everything shooting wise now on the Notos moving forward. So let's get some air in this, and I'll meet you back at 20 yards. We have the Umarex Notos back here at our 20-yard range. I've preloaded the 7-shot magazine with the Umarex Brimstone 18.2 grain pellets. These have been shooting really well in the gun for me in some preliminary testing. This is a smaller magazine, but it functions just like a lot of the other ones that are currently on the market. So you rotate it around, and as you see, there's that little drum will move with you. We put the first one in, and I always put my finger on the back to cover that up, but the first one's in, and then we just come back around here. Load it as we go. There's number 7. Right now the magazine is full. All we do now is make sure that those two line up. Put it in right there. We're good to go. So what we're gonna do now is see what size group we can get at 20 yards with all 7 shots from the magazine. Okay, there we have 7 shots coming out of the magazine with the Brimstone 18.2 grain pellets. At 20 yards, that's great accuracy. That's everything I would expect out of the Umarex Notos here. So we filled the gun back up to 3,600 PSI. We're gonna see how many shots we get at that, and then calculate the velocities, the energies, all the stuff we normally do. So let's get into that. So So on a full 3,625 PSI charge, we're able to get 3 magazines out of the Umarex Notos. Shooting the 18.67 brimstone pellets, I was able to get an average of about 718. So if you calculate that out, that is just above 20 foot-pounds of energy. So like we said, it's a good combination of the size versus the power. It gives you enough power to do any kind of small pest elimination you could want out to about 50 yards, and it's giving you a decent amount of shots with 3 magazines per fill. Our extreme spread, which was also impressive on this, was 4 feet per second. So in 20 shots, my velocities ranged from 716 to 720. So it's incredibly consistent for the price. And you're just seeing here that the performance of it is nothing really being sacrificed. You know, you have an entry-level gun with an entry-level price, but you're getting really consistent, really high-end numbers. So that's a great job on the Umarex for really maximizing what they have in a small package. So great results here at 20. I'm really happy with what we found out. What we're gonna do next is really stretch the legs. We're gonna take it out to 50 yards, see what kind of 5-shot group we can do there, and then I'll meet you back in the showroom. We'll finish this video up. We have the Umarex Notos outside at our 50-yard range. We're gonna be shooting the Umarex Brimstone 18.67 grain pellets out of the magazine, and the goal here is to get a 5-shot group at 50 yards. We talked about at 20 yards, this is a 20 foot-pound gun, so a little anemic in terms of pre-charged guns and what we review usually, but we'll see what kind of group at 50 yards we can hold together out of the magazine with the Umarex Notos. Let's get at it. Okay, so that is 5 shots out of the Umarex Notos. We're a little bit far away for 7-power magnification, so let's go down to the target and get a closer look at it. I'm thrilled with these results. With such a short barrel with 20 foot-pounds of energy, it shows that it has the repeatable accuracy to do pretty much any backyard air gunning you could possibly want to do. So everything is in the 8 ring. Most of them are in that 9 ring. And I bought our 1-inch reference coin here. I can cover up 4 of them completely, but I'm like 4.5, so just outside of an inch at 50 yards. And like we said, this being a very budget-friendly gun, that's great performance out of something that's under $300. So 50 yards, Umarex Notos magazine. Like I said, it can do anything you want it to in the backyard. I think it's a great entry-level PCP gun to get your feet wet. Those results speak for themselves. There it is. That's the Umarex Notos in a nutshell. We saw that this small, lightweight, easy to carry gun was capable of producing 20 foot-pounds in the 22 caliber here. We saw that at 20 yards, our groups were right on top of each other. At 50 yards, we were just above an inch group for 5 shots. So anything you could possibly do in your backyard with a pre-charged air gun, I think that we proved that the Umarex Notos would do it, and then maybe even a little bit more. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned more about the Umarex Notos, and hopefully you might want to get yourself a Umarex Notos. And if that's the case, please do visit Airguns of Arizona, join our mailer list on the website, subscribe to us on YouTube, do anything you can to follow us and stay up to date with our latest products. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.